Bible says this. Jesus says this, right? Those who have will be given more, and those who do not, whatever little they have, will be taken away. Means what? Those who have, those who feel abundant, those who feel grateful, more of nature would support that experience that you're having in life, and those who are like, okay, I do not have this, I need this, I do not have this, then nature would give you that to experience more of that, I do not have, I need this.
Could you close that door? Yes.
Is this making sense?
Yeah. Energy flows where attention goes.
Energy flows where attention goes.
So tell us what the picture looks like that we're going to with the service.
You know, I mean, what I'm saying here is the little challenges that we have on the periphery, they are all on the periphery. The essence of the treatment, the experience that we want to give to the people, they are getting it. Right? So we are doing majority of the things right. Are you all with me? You know, we are doing 90% of the service right. We are doing it right because the guests are getting that experience. But if we put our attention on only that 10% that is not working right, oh, but this is not right, or this is not right, and that is why I'm not comfortable, and this is not right, and that is why I'm not enthused to do this, then that 10% would grow to become 110% of that experience for you. Yes?
Yeah.
You know? So what I want to communicate, what I want to say is, be comfortable, be confident that we are doing it right. You know, you are giving that experience, you are reaching your goal, right? But now that shift needs to happen from, okay, this is not right, this is not, no, we are going to work on it. Of course, that attention needs to be there, you know, to get things ironed out and stuff, and we are here to do that. But shift your goal, shift your focus from that obstacle to that experience, which is why you choose to become a therapist or choose to do this Ayurvedic service in the first place. Is to give that experience, and you are doing it. You are reaching your goal. Are you all with me? I mean, this was not what I thought I would talk about, but this just came up, you know.
I think it's very practical. There are obstacles, real and perceived, for us to, really feel like we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But just to, I think, to reiterate, we're doing it. We're there. We're doing it. So
We're just getting through
focus.
those fists a little bit,
Big picture.
like rougher,
yeah.
like the first round when we walked through.
Yeah.
But we don't need to focus on the lack. We want to focus on what we have.
What we are given is what we have.
Right. Another way is don't focus on the obstacles. Just remember why you chose to do this service, or you were chosen to do this service. Yeah. Is that?
Yeah. You know? And then you can, see what happens then. That shift happens in you, and then we move from an attitude of complaining to taking responsibility. You know, when that shift happens in us, then we move from, see, what happens when you take responsibility, right? Okay, wow, okay, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to see how this would work, rather than, but this is not right, this should happen, and that is not there. What happens, we become the victim of the situation, and whenever we are in that victim consciousness, we lose power. We have no power to change that situation. Every time we go into that situation, oh, but this was not done for me, or this was not done right, or this is not right. The moment we are in that state, what are we doing? We are becoming, or we are staying a victim of that situation. We are not taking responsibility. So as long as you keep your attention on the goal, this is attention on the problem. This was not right, or this should have been done, or this. Yes, and that is good that we communicate with the management. Okay, this is what we would love to have it this way. Because Ayurvedic services, all this is not just for the guest on the table. It has to work for you. See, the difference between a doctor and a yogi, you know what? A difference between a doctor and a yoga teacher, because a doctor can have diabetes but still can prescribe the medicine for diabetes. But a yoga teacher or an Ayurvedic practitioner cannot have that problem and teach yoga. Cannot be unhealthy and talk about health or do or teach things. For a yogi, you have to have, for an Ayurvedic practitioner, you need to have that attitude. You need to carry that grace with you. You need to have that positivity. Only then, in your marma point, you will see life changes. Things starts happening.
Can I share something about the Marma point? When I was, before I even did an Ayurvedic here, I took what I learned in training, and there was a guest who'd come in. She was very young and had a hysterectomy, so she could, never have children. She was really upset. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make her day better. So I just focused on her third eye and her motherboard, if you will. Remember that? And she came out, she was like, I hallucinated. I don't know what you did to me, but I hallucinated. And it was, I swear to you guys, the intention going in. So we all have those gifts. And in this particular treatment, don't be afraid to use them, because it does make a difference in someone's day.
Any questions regarding Shirodhara or the balancing bowl or the marma points or any of those Ayurvedic things? Do you guys have any questions regarding
Yes, Jan had the question about the marma points.
that? How long and why do we do marma points, or what is the...
I just think, I tried to Google Marma points to try and get a better understanding of what the intention behind it. I understand what you said in the lecture, but I'm trying to be a bit more discerning, because as I said, when I did in the dry run, when I did the Ananda and I did all the Marma points for a minute, I ran like 20 minutes long. So I'm trying to figure out, a better understanding of the intentions, so then when I'm in the present moment, I can discern better.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do these for 30 seconds, but I really want to spend more time on these, or having a better understanding of them. We got that chart, I think, but it still doesn't quite hook up to the lecture to me. And so I'm trying to just have a better immersion of that, if you will.
Yes. And it's all these techniques that we are learning are super specific. You need to really spend so much time. We are taking just the few key ones right now for Marma. And what is Marma? Marma is that secret energy junction points, right? That's what Marma literally means. It is secret or hidden energy junction points where our energy is linked to our physical body, the 7 chakras and stuff like that. Now, all these Marma points, actually, wherever they are, there is a little hollow cavity, there is a hollow space where that energy is blocked. And all we are doing as a therapist is just with that attention and intention, we are unblocking their energy. Okay? We are not, it's not Reiki, where we are giving them energy or we are taking their energy. Nothing happens with Marma. Okay? All we are doing, because these are the energy junction points, just having that little attention there unblocks their own energy and it opens up their consciousness. Now, doing that, we can get spaced out. Because we are going into that space. Every Marma point is opening up that space which is blocked energy. We are unlocking that blocked energy. We are opening up that space. So in doing that, we can get spaced out, and that is where I need more time here, and they need more, and we can go over. I have done it myself. You know, I have been doing it so many times, but then just because it is such an organic treatment, you know, these marma points and stuff, marma or even shirodhara. Shirodhara is more precise because you don't want to go longer or stuff, but marma is much more organic. So your intuition would tell you, okay, I need to do this and stuff like that. But here in a spa setting, you know, it's, please stay towards that. Like, you know, the more you practice, but it is, what I'm trying to say is, it's not out of the box what you're feeling, that, you know, you would go over it and stuff like that, because it is how marma works. And you would know how long to stay. Your intuition would tell you.
Right, I don't want to be married to the clock on the marma points.
Yeah.
I want to be married to my intuition on the
Yeah,
marma
but
points.
then at the same time,
You can't
yes,
always. Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
in the spa. But when you do it at home, now you know it, when you're doing it at home, let it flow. You know, but here we have to stay. Okay, if it's 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And we have timed those, the amount that we have said is enough for that to unblock.
Okay, that's
Yeah, is enough time for that space to open. Some space are, you know, they need more, like third eye. Okay, it needs some longer attention because we have so much here, right, that we hold and all these things. This is the chakra of alertness as well as anger. So frustration, alert, or anger or irritation, everything is here. But then when it's flipped, it is awareness, it is alertness, it is focus. All this is also here, right? So when you're attending to this, you are actually shifting their energy from frustration, anger to awareness, alertness.
And when you say focusing, it's just really a matter of just focusing your attention to a very small area. That's it.
Right.
Like the finger, when I did that lady, I just had my finger like that,
That's it.
barely touching.
Yeah.
But you could feel the electric, like the
Mm-hmm.
underneath.
So we don't have to do anything, yes, except have the intention to be that at that point. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah. So the intention, you already have it. Okay. When you're doing this treatment, you already have the set intention. When you're doing the marma, the intention is let my attention or my touch or whatever is allow that blocked energy to open up, to unblock. Okay. That is the intention that we have. You know. At the beginning of the treatment, you may have the intention, let this change their life, let the whole world become peaceful. That is good to have, you know. But when you are in the flow, you know, don't work too hard up here.
I think that's why I forget to take the thing off, because I'm just going with the moment, and then I pay attention to the time, and I'm like,
Yeah. Having said that, you know, be grounded. So for that, if you need to, okay, do whatever it takes you to for you to stay grounded, because these treatment are, we can go to la la land very quickly ourselves, right? So do whatever it takes to stay grounded. Like, and that would mean that in between the treatments, like eat a croissant or a burger or like something to keep you grounded. You know, don't eat burger, please. But
Can
something for
Can I
please,
add
yes.
there that just a practical solution is you know, in the protocol, it says on different areas, choose 2 to 3, or,
Yeah.
you know, just, I found for myself, timing myself, I couldn't do all of those marmas on each one of those toes
Right.
and ankles and still stay on time. So I don't rush them, I do one. You know, if it's just the big toe and I'm gonna give full 60 seconds then trying to rush, touch toes, that is not doing anything. So if I leave off some toes, I'm okay with it because I gave my full attention to 2 of them. I don't know.
And
That's just-
actually, of all the toes, the first and the second, the big one and the one next to it are the most important ones.
Oh,
So if you can, yeah.
That's usually what I choose.
really? Okay, so that's kind of the question she had. What about on the legs? And the question I have about the marma points is like I remember somebody saying it's like a band around the area where you're
Some.
touching.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some of
So
them.
do they have to be super exact? Like there's a tiny little spot that we have to fit our finger on?
Yeah, see some like on the knees, it is fine. There are some marma points that are just like one finger, right? But the navel marma point around here or something, I don't know. We don't do navel on here, right?
No.
But they are like 4 fingers. You know, some points are larger.
Huh.
Some points are like very precise. The one on the knees is fine. You know, you can go right there. And see, it's marma point the way I have learned it and the way I do it. You would know when you're at the right point. You know. See, it's like we are so designed or conditioned in massage schools or in the West here that okay, this is the point, this meridian, this thing, and that, but that's not the case for marma because it is such a fluid thing. You know, it's abstract a little bit, right? So for different people, they would have that around this area also. Someone would be like a millimeter below that or above that, right? You would know when you're doing the points. Just like how you were saying, like when I was touching it, you could feel that energy. Right? So I may not. This is probably not the answer that you're looking for, you know, because you might want just the cross section. Okay, this is the point, but just go with your intuition on this one, on the marma, because that is what it is, right? But stay on the time.
Right. And
Very
then
important.
one of our therapists that's on the Ayurveda team got a whole marma book, Lila. So if you guys want to share, like she'll be happy to share that book with you guys when she's here. But that one indicated that the hand, like that there's different elements in the hand.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering, like, because this is the wind, why do we use this finger?
Because wind can occupy the space and move the space. Wind is what moves. So whatever is that blocked energy, this can move it. Wind is always, air is always moving, right? We saw that, Vata Pitta Kapha,
Yeah.
right? So that moves. It's energy. It's not
I
wind.
see. That is
So what
why.
is this one?
So it's from what I understand that this is ether or space, and this is wind, and this is fire, and this is water, and this is earth.
You know, that makes sense. I use this one when I do it.
I use
Fire
this one
finger?
too.
Yeah.
I use the fire finger.
It's a lot easier to work with, but does that harm the marmas at any point?
Steady.
You want to use this finger only on the third eye.
The fire finger only on the third eye.
Because this is where the fire is. So fire balances fire. Right? So do this here on the third eye, right? But everywhere else, if you can, the index finger to move that cloud energy.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And when we go around, when you're massaging, like this is what we teach esthetician, massaging around the eyes because it is the seat of pitta, then you use your ring finger.
For the water?
Water, yeah. But for the marma points, it is the fire finger for the third eye. So that's the only place we use the fire finger. Everywhere else, it is the index finger. Okay?
Is there ever a purpose to use the other elemental fingers, like besides this? What about, and then the toes? Do the toes also have the elements? They're the same?
I don't know about the toes. I knew about
The fingers?
Yeah, I don't know about the toes.
Okay.
Maybe we can find out.
Okay, I'll ask Lila.
That's good. Is that helpful? Does that answer your question?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Excellent. Good.
Shirodhara, everybody's good with Shirodhara?
One of our, I think myself, I'm struggling with how quickly to do it because I didn't see you do the Shirodhara drip pattern. So I want to see as close to the real
So
thing.
This is how, this is the speed. When you pause, you go here, pause. I'm not pausing for 8 seconds, but you know how long to pause, right?
So the way you move to the side, that's about as fast as you
Yes,
go when you're
yes.
moving side to side?
Mhm.
Okay.
And when you're doing the drip, this is how fast you would go. Mhm. Now, See, again, we can go, keep this as the baseline. Okay? Different doshas, different people, different rhythm, all this is, it's more advanced, it's more, things like for a Vata person, the slower you go, it's better for them. For a Kapha person, the faster you go, that is better for them, things like that. But don't worry about all these things. Just go. But what I don't want to see is in Shirodhara, you're rushing. Then that is not going to be a good experience for them.
Yes, what we've experienced, a lot of people that tried it found it to be kind of ticklish
Yeah.
when it was being
Done
put there,
fast, yeah.
when it was faster, even when it was done slowly, and they would ask, please just keep it right here.
On the third eye.
Yeah. Is there any guidance on that?
So do we tell them when we are doing Shirodhara about why we do the pattern?
No.
Not the guests are, well,
We don't tell.
I
No.
haven't.
It's not part of it.
Okay.
Every time I do the intake or whatever, like we did it so extensively, like explaining everything. It was like a 10-minute conversation, and I get started with, do you guys have any questions? No, I haven't had a single guest question anything that I've done. Like I'm like, these are the Marma points. Here are our doshas. Do you have any questions? I was expecting to be like, what are the Marma points? And what is this dosha? No, I'm good.
no, they're just like, okay, okay,
Get
all right,
ready,
okay,
let me get
okay,
started.
okay,
I
okay.
actually cut a lot out of my intake. I explain everything we're doing with less of an explanation.
Yeah.
Because
That
it's
is
not. I don't
good.
think it's that they don't care. I think it's because it might be so much, and I've been told that they're given information before the service. So I don't go into a whole lot anymore because they don't seem to want it. If they have questions, of course I answer, but I don't even tell them that there's a drip pattern anymore. I said we do it in a specific way,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't say we do it in a specific pattern.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're surprised when it happens or if they already know, but no one's ever asked like why.
And you know what happens is, and it was like experience for all of us. The first time we received Shirodhara, it is a little weird, but it does work, So and that is where they are like, because they are uncomfortable with whatever is happening, which is what is happening is unlocking of the nervous system, right? When we're doing this, and so they are like, okay, what's, and I'm not, I like it here.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
they know, because all they have seen in the West that Shirodhara done is flowing of the oil on the third eye. So that is what they want. What we are doing is actually the most authentic way to do Shirodhara, but that is what they are not used to or have heard, or it's not in their concept.
So, there've been a couple of instances where the client's been really ticklish,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't do it. So I did it with my finger, but I wasn't sure, could I pour the Shirodhara oil just on the third eye while I'm actually doing it with my finger? When I did it with my fingers, they weren't ticklish, but I didn't pour the oil anymore because I didn't want to torture
So
them.
yeah. So if you see, I would not do it with the finger.
Don't.
No. It's good. It does work also, but then that is not Shirodhara.
Okay.
Because these are all Marma points. Then you're doing Marma treatment actually.
Oh, okay.
When you're doing with the finger. With the oil,
So
it
if
is
they're
Shirodhara.
ticklish,
if they're ticklish, then just focus on the third eye, and then instead of snaking up, just go above the eyebrow and back. Just do this much.
okay.
Yes.
So it's not a problem if they wanted to stay on the third eye?
I don't know. I'll have them. I tie and then
Like
just
someone
yeah,
had-
because I don't know
someone had
how.
like
Answer that, yeah.
Not
So
with
let's,
me, but just,
so then it's a preference that they could possibly have. I like what you said, that it can be uncomfortable. Things are happening. There are feelings, emotions. They could even be kind of rejecting it a little bit in the beginning. Allow them to have that process. Don't make decisions for them. Just receive it. Altering things like the finger, let's not do that. Don't hold on the third eye. The pattern actually negates 500 hours of training that they would have to have, you would have to have if you were in India. So the pattern is better. Let's stick to the protocol.
Yes.
Keep practicing. You'll have one or two people who maybe will be uncomfortable. And by the way, tickling is releasing of tension. Okay, mental
But
tension. Allow
not
them.
torture.
It's not torture. It's
Okay.
not dripping. It's a flow.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there a possibility with the tickling, excuse me, with the tickling that it might be because of the temperature? Isn't right? Just a question. Yeah? No?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The temperature. If we were to air, say, is it bad if the oil is too cold?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't want it too cold.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel so bad. I've had a cold couple times. It was like, oh God.
I've
It's
had
torture.
the Ananda with the balancing bowls,
Yeah.
really ticklish feet. And actually, they didn't tell me until the very end, and I felt so bad. They're like, "Oh my God, I was dying the
Guess
whole
what?
time." Are you
I
ticklish?
did the Ananda on this gentleman right here, and afterwards like, okay, Marshall, sit down. Let's talk about this. This was before we really started getting into watching it, and I was like, oh, okay. And he gave me some feedback, which was wonderful. And one of his bits of feedback was, Marshall, use a little bit more pressure and go a little bit faster because I was really ticklish. Tickling. Oh, darn it!
She
You did do it
had
perfect.
told me in the beginning that she had ticklish feet, and I was like, "Okay, we'll give it a try and just let me know," because it was one of the dry runs, and she didn't say anything while I was doing it, so I thought I was good the whole time. But she was just like, "No, it was so bad." She's like, "I tried so hard not to kick you." Yeah. So it's so faster and firmer.
Yeah,
you think,
little more
usually?
pressure. When they feel ticklish, it's just like how when somebody goes like just like that, then that is ticklish. But then it's not. It feels good actually when there is little pressure.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you want to. That's the probably only correction or suggestion.
Okay.
Go a little deeper in that.
Okay.
Ticklish
That's the only ticklish
is
issue I've had.
Just on the other side of pain, right?